I'll request Mr. Saurabh Garg, co-founder and chief business officer from nobroker.com, to join me here on stage as well. Please give it up for Saurabh, sir, ladies and gentlemen. Zor se bajaiye taali, everybody, sir. Thank you.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. I hope all of you are not very sleepy after the lunch. I'm really glad to be here. It's my first time at CMO Charcha. Good to see so many marketeers, so many PR people. Really excited to be part of this group. I'll talk about marketing in the age of AI. Everybody's talking about AI these days. So we'll try to cover what's happening, what we are doing at NoBroker. So a lot of things at NoBroker happen with AI, whether it is recommending what's the right price, what is the best locality to live in. A lot of these things which a consumer requires, we use AI to do that. And AI is actually changing everything. All of us, the way that we live, the way we work. The smartphone which we use now has so many AI features. If I was probably living in the US, I would have come here in an autonomous car driven by AI. So I think a lot of things happening in AI, but what is it that we can use AI for as marketers? Is it something which we can use? And I really believe that every company needs to have an AI strategy. If we don't use AI in making our things more efficient, more faster, I think we'll just lose. I'll just put a chart in front of you. I think just want to make it a point here that this is a market cap of Intel versus NVIDIA, right? And Intel was much bigger company than NVIDIA till almost 3 years back. And this chart is actually 1 year old. Now Intel, which is at 140, has gone down to less than 100 billion in terms of market cap, and NVIDIA has become 3 times of that size. So that is what is happening when Intel missed the entire AI wave. So I think it's important to understand that a lot of these new technologies are making a big change in how companies operate. So we should make sure that we adopt these new technologies, use it to our advantages. And a lot of people say AI is tricky, it will kill jobs, it can kill people, but I think more important is that it's very efficient, and we should use it as part of our work. So I think in marketing, when we speak about AI, I've spoken to multiple people who just talk about some small part of marketing where AI plays a role. But that's not true. I think AI can play a role in the entire funnel, right from inciting to the final execution. Everywhere AI can play a role, and that's what we are trying to do at NoBroker. So first, I think insight is where the marketing starts from. So understanding the customer, hearing the customer voice, I think that's very important. So what we did was that we developed an in-house tool called ConvoZen. It was developed more as a tool for call center, so that call center can become more efficient. We can use AI to understand if the call center agent is using the right SOPs, speaking in the right manner, right moments, right sentiments. But I think we realized that this is a very powerful technology and we can use it for more. So imagine that right now, before ConvoZen, there's a team of marketing people who are going and meeting customers every month, right? They speak to 5, 10, 15 customers every month. But here using ConvoZen, our thousands of agents speak to hundreds of thousands of people every month, and all that insight is filtered by AI and presented to us. Any conversation happening anywhere on LinkedIn, on emails, on Facebook, everything is brought in one place, and we can say, okay, this customer sent this email, this on LinkedIn, this on the call when he spoke, and the entire distilled insight is available to us, and that makes it very easy. It's such a powerful tool that we have now started giving it to other people, and a lot of other companies have started using ConvoZen and use it for various tools, whether it's customer satisfaction, inciting, and other things. So I think customer life cycle, all of us are aware of this typical customer life cycle, which is there from acquisition to purchase to repurchase. The real estate life cycle is slightly different. So I just wanted to make that point that in a real estate, it starts with renting a home. Typically, a bachelor rents a home, maybe with 2, 3 friends, they rent a home, and then they rent another home, and then a person gets married, and they rent a bigger home, and then over a period of time, they think of buying a home. And then probably a few years later, they buy one more home, and they put the first one on rent. That's the cycle which real estate has. Typically, people rent a home for around 5 to 6 times before they buy the first home, and then they buy the second home. And this is a cycle which span over years. Right? It's maybe a 10-year cycle which we see here. But the interesting thing about real estate is that there is also a micro life cycle into that. When a person is renting a home, they need a lot of other things. Once they find a home, they need documentation, they need packers and movers, cleaning services. If they're buying a home, they need home loan, interiors, and all these things. And similarly, when a person is owner who's renting out his home, he needs all these services before he can make his home available to rent. So now, which makes it very tricky because there is one micro cycle and then there's a larger macro cycle which is there, which I showed earlier. The job of us that we have is that how do we make sure that we are able to capture the entire cycle? So one, we use a lot of AI models to predict what will the customer buy next. So we predict when the customer has found a home, and then they will need a packer and mover, they will need a rent agreement. When the customer would actually be coming back again after 10 months, 15 months, 18 months, so there's a prediction model for repeat customers that they will come back and use that. And for that micro cycle, we use this cross-selling and those kind of things. And we also have models for reactivation, that when the owner will want to come back and reactivate the property so that the property is active again on the platform and the entire microcycle starts again. So I think these models make it much, much more efficient, not only for us, because, so we are a no broker, right? So we save brokerage, but we do a lot of other things also. So I don't know if any of you know, but would anybody want to guess what is the amount of brokerage paid in India, across India? How much was the total amount of brokerage paid? Any guesses? Yeah, 1 month rent, but what is the total amount? 1 crore, 1,000 crore? Any guess? Sorry? 100 plus crores? Any other guess? 20,000 crores? I think bigger. It's $19 billion. It's 1,50,000 crores. That's the amount of money that is paid as brokerage every year in India. So I think our job is to help you save that brokerage. We save more than 8,000 crores of brokerage every year, but still it's just scratch the surface because there's so much more to do. But all these other things which I spoke about, right? Painting, cleaning, packers and movers, home loans, all these are massive businesses. These are $150 billion worth of businesses that customers spend upon. So that automatically increase our lifetime value so much more. So it's important to predict when people will need these services. Again, so when we are going back to the customer for any of these services, I think, again, we use a lot of AI to say what is the right time to target the customers, what is the best media. Do they respond on WhatsApp, do they respond on SMS? Or should we retarget them through some other media? So I think a lot of these things go into predicting and making the communication more efficient. And all this happens because we have built AI models around these things. I think this is something which a lot of you would already be aware about, that a lot of creative work now happens with the help of AI, and it's much, much more faster, it's quicker, language barriers are taken care of. So, I mean, just look at these. All these creatives have been done by AI in like seconds. These things are very expensive to shoot. If you have to do a shoot for them, we use AI for these kind of things and just make sure that these things are available. I'll try and play this. This is what has been done entirely by AI.
It's the perfect time to give your home a Diwali makeover. Choose No Broker Home Interiors to transform your space beautifully. Get personalized designs and end-to-end interiors at up to 25% off. Book now.
So there is no manual intervention in that. Everything is happening with the help of AI. And again, conversation plays again a very important role here when we are doing cross-selling, because a lot of conversation gives us insight that that person needs this service. For example, an owner and tenant are conversing and all these calls route through No Broker. So we come to know when the owner says, okay, I'll get the painting done for you. and we know that they need the painting services, and we can target them much more efficiently for that. So I think that's where the ROI becomes much, much more higher. Performance marketing, again, I think it has changed a lot, so much more in the last 3-4 years. I mean, just imagine and think about like 7-8 years back. What was more important? More important was whom do you target, and what creative you want to put on. Now I think it's about just the creative. You don't want to put any targeting because AI is so much more efficient than you putting manually, I want to target 18 to 35 male. I think it's irrelevant. You just use the wider target, let AI optimize it for you, and all these things, whether it is ad variations, the creative variations, you put multiple things there, biddings, and I think even if you look at Mark Zuckerberg speak on any of his conference calls, you'll see that the AI has become so much more efficient than what any of us can do manually. So that's what performance marketing has come to. And that's where the ROS has grown drastically. So now with the use of those AI tools, our ROS is much, much more better. And we focus more on inciting and what is the right creative rather than saying, whom should I target? I think that job is better done through the help of AI and some of the models that our AI tools also keep on optimizing rather than doing it manually. So I think in summary, I would like to say that AI is very, very powerful. All of us should think about how we can use AI to make our work more efficient, more faster, and more than that, higher return on investment. I think the ROI is very, very high when you use AI. But at the same time, I think marketing without human intervention is extremely tough. The inciting which has to be done, the customer understanding has to be driven through humans. It cannot be done through the AI. AI can help you get a lot of those insights, but I think it's your human connection which can give you the best results. So I think in summary, I would say that this is a technology which is changing the world, which is changing how everything happens for us, and we should maximize the use for it for our own advantage. Thank you.